Listen up, crunch lovers and bucket devourers. Forget the smiling Colonel propaganda. Your KFC chicken isn't just a snack. It's a feast of lies, blood, and destruction no one talks about. Today, we're peeling back the golden crust to reveal the rot inside. What you're about to hear could make your next craving come with a side of guilt. Let's start at the beginning. In 1939, a man named Harlan Sanders, dressed in that iconic white suit, claimed he'd discovered the perfect recipe of 11 herbs and spices that would make fried chicken a global legend. But the story they sell you? It's more fairy tale than fact. In 1964, Sanders sold his empire for a mere $2 million, spent the rest of his life bitter about how his creation became a mass exploitation machine. Visionary? Or walking warning of what happens when capitalism eats its own? Spoiler, it only gets uglier from here. Inside the chicken farms that supply KFC in the US, you'll find conveyor belt death factories. Every single day, 12 zero-fertilized eggs roll off these lines. Picture cages so cramped, hens can't even stretch their wings. Zero natural movement. These birds live just long enough to fatten up many with infections and broken bones from the lack of space. PETA's investigations revealed extreme overcrowding, open wounds, and ammonia-heavy air due to poor ventilation. That crispy bite you crave? It's born from real suffering in steel cages and industrial hell. From hatchling to mutilated body in weeks. On day 19, chicks begin their fight to break out of their shelsa process that can take hours. They walk within 4 hours of hatching, but forget any cuteness. Machines immediately separate them by sex. And the males? They're useless for laying eggs, and too slow to fatten for profit. They're killed instantly, ground alive, gassed, or suffocated. Every single day. Globally, over 7 billion male chicks are destroyed annually. That's not a statistic. That's systematic death in the name of convenience. And it gets worse. Kids' literal minors have been found working inside these slaughter supply chains. In the US alone, over 4 children have been caught performing hazardous labor in meat plants, cleaning deadly machines, working overnight shifts, suffering long hours for low pay. Companies like Purdue and JBS were fined millions, but that hasn't stopped suppliers from continuing the cycle. KFC proudly advertises best practices, but behind those slogans, stolen childhoods grease the gears of your value meal. Meanwhile, to grow feed for these birds, the Amazon rainforest is being gutted. Brazil, epicenter of deforestation, has weakened key environmental laws, opening the door to massive soy plantations. That soy, shipped directly to chicken farms. Greenpeace raised the alarm. Poultry production now contributes around 14% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. KFC's claims of sustainable chicken are greenwashed lies wrapped in glossy packaging. And your bucket? Filled with microplastics, wrappers, and single-use waste-choking rivers and oceans. Back at the farms, chicks that survive hatching enter massive warehouses with 95 Dufour, F-heat, sawdust-covered floors, and barely any ventilation. Their feed is pumped with hormones and antibiotics to bulk them up fast. Females reach over 6.5 pounds in 38 days, males in 65. A free-range bird would need months to reach that size. But these chickens? They're Frankenstein monsters of fast food science. Over 30% develop painful leg deformities due to overcrowding. Every wing you eat is the silent cry of a life bred and broken for speed. Then comes slaughter day. The chickens are hung upside down on hooks, sent through an electrified water bath meant to stun them unconscious, except it often doesn't work. Then their necks are sliced. The conveyor moves at lightning speed, up to 140 birds per minute. After that, they're dunked in scalding water to loosen feathers, and metal fingers rip them out. Investigators have caught live birds being boiled alive, still conscious. This is not an accident. It's the cost of keeping up with demand. And not just animals suffer. The human workers are crushed by this system too. In 2020, at the height of the pandemic, poultry plants became outbreak hotspots. Workers lacked proper safety gear, faced pressure to keep working sick, and were punished for taking time off. Injuries are common. The pay? Often below a living wage. You may think you're just biting into a chicken leg, but you're chewing on the health and safety of someone else's body. And now, let's talk about the so-called secret recipe. In 2016, the Colonel's own nephew leaked the full list: salt, pepper, and a load of MSG. KFC denied it, but ex-employees back it up. The magic isn't in grandma's spice rack, it's in chemical manipulation. Flavor labs, not family kitchens. What you taste is not tradition. It's engineered addiction. Speaking of chemicals, that oil your chicken is fried in, it's often reused for hours, building up acrylamide's potential cancer, causing compounds found in burnt fried foods. A 2022 food safety study tested major fast food chains, including KFC, and found dangerously high levels. That golden brown crisp you love? It's dressed up carcinogens with a side of heart disease. Let's get real about the numbers. One KFC meal can hit 200 calories and 80 grams of fat, over half your daily intake in one greasy paper box. The World Health Organization warns that children who eat fast food more than 3 times a week are 50% more likely to become obese. The salt, sugar, and additives? They're not for taste. They're there to hack your brain and keep you coming back. This isn't food. It's a legal form of addiction. And still, prices climb. As of March 2025, the average price of fresh chicken per pound in the US hit 2.06. The Consumer Price Index for poultry is at 311.45, nearly a full point increase from last year. The USDA predicts prices will keep rising. So that cheap meal? It's not so cheap anymore, and that's before we even talk about the medical costs of long-term consumption. But here's where KFC really wins. Marketing. Nostalgic ads showing smiling families around a bucket. The Colonel giving a sly wink. The myth of home-cooked goodness wrapped in red and white stripes. It's emotional manipulation. While you laugh at those feel-good commercials, what's really happening is a global operation of cruelty, pollution, and corruption. That's the real recipe, and it's working. So what can you do? For starters, look at the alternatives. Ethical farms, free-range certifications, and plant-based options now offer cruelty-free crunch. Brands are making shockingly realistic chicken from soy, pea protein, and even lab-grown cells, no feathers. No bones, no blood. Conscious consumption isn't just a trend, it's your weapon. Ask where your food comes from. Question those convenient lies. Vote with your dollar. Every skipped bucket is a protest. Every time you say no to this system, you hit pause on suffering. If this truth made your stomach turn, share it, comment, follow. We're not here to cancel chicken. We're here to dismantle a system that profits off silence. Because next time you see that smiling Colonel, remember, behind every wing is a trail of pain, pollution, and propaganda. You just didn't see it until now. Truth doesn't weigh on your palate, but it should weigh on your conscience. Your next craving could change the game. And trust me, you'll never look at a chicken bucket the same way again.